to this incredible vision, this omnivision, if you will. Omnipresent vision, is that what it would be? Maybe it's a new Google product coming out. Google Vision. Anyways, in this vision, we can see every human being in the world all at the same time. Every human being in the whole world. And of course, they've always been human beings, right from the start, and that's how our race is going to end, hopefully not for a long time, is human beings will come to an end. But there's certain times, of course, that they haven't been regarded as human beings. Friends like Daniel, where with his black skin, at one point he wasn't even regarded a person. People like my wife, at one point she wasn't regarded a person because a guy like me made up rules that said this is not a person. And same thing for our First Nations people. I am on the ancestral home of the Blackfoot people, and the Blackfoot people for a long time weren't regarded as people. So for 150 years, we tried to beat the culture out of them. Anyways, back to the dream. The dream is we have this amazing vision. We could see every human being in the whole world at the same time. Every human being at the same time. And there's three things that are really remarkable about this. All of these human beings, all of these people throughout the whole world were happy. And when I say happy, is they had the capacity to look after themselves, and look after their significant relationships, their spouse and kids and their family. So they were healthy, and that they had that capacity. They had the capacity and the strength to enjoy things in their day. They had the capacity and the strength to make a difference in their world. So those are the things that kind of define their happiness. Now, as well, they're hopeful in their eyes. You could see the hope in their eyes, and they're helping. They wanted to be of help to themselves and to others. And with that help, like you could see that in their deeds and their thoughts, what they said and what they did, that they wanted to be helpful for other people. They wanted to make a difference in their lives. So 3H humans, we call them. So they are healthy, and they are hopeful, and they are helping. Those three things. And of course, there's differeces, right? I mean, we all, at the base level, we're all human beings. We all need food. We all need water. We all need shelter. We all need protection. We all need love. There's a lot of things we all need, but there are not particularly difficult to get. There's enough of everything in the world that we could make the solutions to make that happen. So anyways, this is the dream, this 3H humans. And so with that, this is something that provides us hope and inspiration as well. Now, I'm not sure when Brother Daniel's going to come on, and I'm going to ask him if he agrees with this or not, but, I think a lot about the contribution that women make in our society. And it is amazing what women do for the betterment of their families, but for the betterments of our community. I published a little video a couple of years ago on International Women's Day about women being the better human beings. And I had lots of pushback from my wife, from my daughter, from other strong, smart women that I know who said, whoa, this is not right. They're different. They're not better. Women aren't better than men. They're different than men. And okay, that's very modest of women to be so kind that way. But you think of all the things that are important in your world. That you came to this world through a woman whose body also nourished you, who also did most of the time to take care of you, make sure that you were fed and got sleep and were protected and had a good life, right? That you had all the basics to enjoy a good life. So a woman did that for you. And then if in our community, if we get ill or something like that, we go to a hospital. Who are taking care of us mostly? It's mostly women. If we have social services, we have challenges in our life, it's mostly women who do that work. When there's anything regarding emotions and commitments that way, things that are very difficult for some people to do, most of those jobs are filled by women, and they have the heart and the caring and the capacity in order to help people have better lives. And then if you think about more at the end stage of life, where you do not have the health that you would enjoy and you need help to live each day, mostly women are filling those roles, right? So I'm thinking that women are definitely the major contributors to a good society, to all the things that are important for us, for health, for happiness, for peace, for love, for joy, for gratitude. Women rule, is my opinion. And we're going to see if Brother Daniel agrees with that. So if you might never watched this before, the first show we had was kind of fun because we were talking about how, again, it doesn't take a whole bunch of food for a human being, 4 to 5 pounds a day. And so we made up a fake news story. And in this fake news story, Dr. Zach Bush and Dr. Vandana Shiva, she's from India and he's from the US, and they're super smart people that really understand the interconnectedness and that how important that is, and the biodiversity, how important that is, and the protection of the earth and keeping it fertile and growing, as opposed to like mono one thing that you crank it out kind of a thing. You just keep on putting all kind of chemicals to make it work. They have a more holistic approach. And so the news article was that they would come up with this plan to feed every person in the world. And there was a couple steps to it. But the first step was basically that they would get all of the food that's destroyed every year, and it's billions and billions of tons of food. So that food that's destroyed every year, and of course, most of that's probably in North America, where we are very affluent that way. So they would direct all this food that's destroyed and get it to people who need food, who don't have food, right? That have none. We have too much, they don't have none. So that way this food, instead of it being just destroyed, just rotting, went to somebody to give them nourishment, to give them strength, to give them the ability to have good health and a good life. So that was a fun episode. So that's kind of, we made up that little fake news story to say, hey, maybe this is possible. Maybe the smart enough people who are focused on that path could make that difference. Perhaps. I think it's possible. I'm not the one smart enough to do it, but I think it's possible it could happen. And then the next episode was quite fun because we started talking about the same thing. What else do you need? You need water, right? You need clean water. And actually, we kind of had that reversed because clean water is really more important than food, because with clean water, you need water basically every day. With food, you can go a few days without it. And then food as well. People, the access that they have to food, our bodies are pretty versatile. We can accommodate. If you've got sweet potatoes, you can live on sweet potatoes. If you've got, like the Eskimos live on whale blubber, how's that work? But they've got food, they've got calories, they've got something to sustain them. But clean water is a whole different cat, because clean water, we all need water, and I and probably you don't drink enough water. But think about if you have a huge thirst, and if you take a sip of water, you could die from the waterborne diseases. Huge problem, right? So then my thought was I was going to research and make up kind of another fake news story about somebody doing something to protect the water supply. But better than a fake news story, I ran across Dr. Askwar Halonga. And Dr. Halonga has made this nano filter for water, and this nano filter will basically provide clean water for a family of five for 5 years. 5 years, clean water for that whole family. So they enjoy good health. They get the water they need in terms of to take care of their health and maintain a body that's working well and has good immunity and stays strong, so that they can be involved in the things that are important to them, make the contributions they want to make, help the people that they want to make. So anyways, a fun thing. So I had a great chat with this Dr. Halonga, Professor Halonga, and he has very ambitious plans. He wants to be a billionaire in terms of helping a billion people to a better life. Helping a billion people to a better life. He wouldn't say saving, but in reality, he would be, by providing clean water. So his project right now is pretty amazing. He's taking right across Africa, diagonally, from Cape Town, I think it is, in South Africa, right across, where basically there's going to be 1,000 water stations. And these water stations will provide clean water for like 100, is it 100 villages, I think? No, 100 families, 100 families from one water station. Plus, they will provide these kiosks. Plus, they will sell, for those that can buy them, they will sell these nano filters so that those folks, if they live further away from that water station, could go and with basically any kind of water source, make it clean and safe. Even water that's like sewage, they run it through kind of a reeds, reeds and vegetation that takes all the sediment out, and then Dr. Halunga's filter will make safe water. So on the bottom of the screen is a phone number and an email address. If you want to call in or you wanted to send an email, well, please do. We're looking to kind of do a just have those kind of stories and dreams that are incredibly optimistic. We're optimists to the we're black belt optimists is basically what the plan is. So then we want to share that in the hopes that maybe we can dream about what our world would be like that. It kind of reminds me of this. There's a thing I read recently, a video I watched, I should say. One of my missions, my mission is that I will reduce adverse childhood experiences so that these little people who are experiencing that will have better lives for the rest of their life, and so that they will be able to contribute fully to their families and their communities and stay healthy and be able to have the most enjoyable life possible with the least trauma possible. And so they had a program, I think it was in Nashville, if I recall correctly. But basically, when the law enforcement officers were on site, and let's say that there wasn't a need to call Child Protective Services, but there was a little person there who had been traumatized, that their presence was problematic for the child, or maybe it was really late into the morning, or the child wasn't going to get any sleep, or the child was those kind of circumstances where they knew this kid's going to have a tough day tomorrow. So then what they did is they've created a very easy interface, and then the interface just is handle with care. This little person comes into the school today, everybody knows to handle with care. They don't know the details. They just know that, let's say it's Sally, and Sally's scheduled to take a test that day. And they say, Sally, you know what? We can get that rescheduled for you. We can do that test on another day. So I think that's an amazing type thought process. That they're an easy way to protect kids so that those kids have the opportunity to kind of get through those tough times and get support from adults who don't even know what the cause is, but they want to be of support to them. And we can all make a huge difference in a kid's life just by being there, just by talking to them, just by listening to them, just by seeing them. And on the same vein, what if we all had that kind of a perspective where we're going to handle with care, because I want to handle you with care because you might be having a tough day, and I hope you handle with me with care because I'm having a tough day. What would our relationships look like if that was what we all did, was handled each other with care? Anyways, it was a beautiful little story, and I think it'll be very, very valuable in terms of helping kids through real tough times. I have a friend, his name is Dr. Greg Williams. He's in Houston, Texas. And he was severely abused by his father for like more than a decade. And then when he finally came out and he, told his story, wrote a book about it and told his story, then, he said that it was surprising he even survived it, right? That it was so traumatic. But what happened was his aunt and uncle, who didn't even know about the trauma, were the ones that really just encouraging him and being just helpful, helping human beings in his life, saved his life, because that gave him the strength and the comfort and the support to be able to deal with all the other things that were happening at home. So it's the difference one person can make is huge. So I don't think Brother Daniel is going to be joining us today. I think maybe we're going to call this a little bit short here. And, well, not short. It is what it is. But, just wait. I'm going to show you something that I just saw today I thought was kind of cool. I was in this It was about immigration, diversity, and just the differences in how human beings interact with each other. So let me just find this little visual I took. Share screen. Well, I got a whole bunch of songs open from singing earlier today. No, that ain't going to be it. All right, where do I find this? Screen share was canceled. Yeah. All right. Try this one more time. Screen share. And okay, here, that's okay. I'll just do my entire screen. All right. And then, all right, good. And then now I'm going to go into my desktop. Oh man, I wish I could have some more windows open. Stand By Me. What a great song, eh? All right, I'm going to close Word. These are all the songs I open up when I'm singing so that I have the lyrics handy. All right, so here, we got to get to the desktop. And where is it? Staggerly. Chapeau Billy. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah. All right, here's the one that I wanted to show. Come on. This old Mac has got 1,000,000 miles on it. She's a little bit slow. Rig's a little old, but that don't mean she's slow. Flame from her stack, blowing black as coal. Oh, come on now. All right, maybe I can't show you this. Here's what it is. It's basically a band at the bottom that shows that we are all human beings and have the common human needs we all have, right? There's things we all need, of course. Where? Oh man. Okay, so at the bottom, it's basically all the common human needs. And then there's a big part about culture where we have small differences, right? We have differences in what religious beliefs we might have. We've got differences in what clothes we wear, what food we eat, how we eat our food, whether we use a fork or a spoon or, those kind of things. So we have so many differences in those ways, but they're all relatively small differences. And then there's kind of the uniqueness. Oh, here we go. Okay, stop the screen share. There we go. So the uniqueness, though, is that we all have here for some reason. I don't know what that is for most people, but there's always something, some value that you are here to do. And I think I learned that from Brother Daniel when he was talking about basically, now he has a more specific religious belief than I do, but his message is that you're here for a reason, you're unique, you're special, you have your own contribution to make, your own voice to speak with, your own role that you're playing in this human experience we're all having. And I love that. I think that makes real good sense, that we're spiritual beings and we're having a human experience right now, and part of that human experience is to be of value, to be of hope, to be of support to other humans who are sharing the same experience that we are. I heard a friend was telling me about COVID, and we're talking about COVID being we're all experiencing the same storm, but we all have different vessels that we are in. And so, if you got a yacht, or you got a battleship, or you got a canoe, or maybe you're just treading water. So the point is that we're all in the same situation, and our health is all individual important, but also collectively important. So we're all subject to the same the same forces that are outside here, that perhaps we can make it easier for each other to weather this storm, is kind of the idea. So you will not have the pleasure to see Brother Daniel tonight, but next week I'm sure we'll be back to our normal program, and then he'll probably tell us what he was so busy with, but I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. He's a very caring man, and I'm sure there's a reason that he had to help somebody else who needed help. But next week he will be back with us. So keep yourself well. If you wish to share anything with us, please do. On there, you can see the email address, 3humans@gmail.com, or you could dial the phone number and we can have a little chat. Oh, here's the thing I was trying to show you. It finally came up. Just my Mac's running a little slow. So the universal, oh, I don't have it on screen share, so that's great. You can't see it. Let's try that again. Share it. Share the screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Nope. Application window. Nope. Your entire screen. Come on, we're not doing this again. All right, I'm not going to show you again. This is not going to show right. Anyways, there's three things. The band along the bottom, that we're all the same. The band in the middle, where we have slight cultural differences. One of the things that Leonard was mentioning, which I thought was really quite cool, is he grew up in France. And in France, the right way to greet a woman is that you kiss her 1 or 2 times on each cheek. So kiss on the left, kiss on the right, kiss on the left, kiss on the right, something like that. So he moves to California, and he greets women like he greeted in France. It didn't work out that well. That's a cultural difference. That's not how it's done in California. So anyways, it was a really a good example of how our cultural, the culture we're immersed in has an influence on what we think and what we do. But overall, at the base level, we're all the same. Matter of fact, I don't know if you've ever done 23andMe. So 23andMe, it's about, you give a little spit test and they tell you where your ancestry comes from and all that kind of thing. So one of the part about your lineage, your far lineage, your oldest lineage, if you will, everybody goes to Africa, right? Whether it comes back to this woman in Africa or this man in Africa. And then from there, where the migration routes where they left Africa. So all of us came from there. All of us are the same in terms of what the needs are. We have our cultures dictate where there's differences, but if we're all here and we all can be healthy in that we can contribute to our important relationships, we can enjoy things in our life that are meaningful to us, important, creative for us, and that we can make the difference we want to make. If we can do those things, then we're healthy. And if we are hopeful, well, then, we have some reason for hope for the future. And maybe that's about actions we're taking or assisting others that are doing things that are important, those kind of things. And if those are the case and we get where we can help somebody else, we can help ourselves or somebody else, because doing good feels good, right? I think that was actually Abraham Lincoln who said that. I heard it from Kim Davis, so I thought it was Kim Davis's original. Maybe it was. And maybe just it's that she didn't even realize that Abraham Lincoln did it, and both of them came up with the same idea. That could happen. So keep yourself well. Hope to see you next week. Brother Daniel will be back, I'm sure, and then we will carry on from there. Thank you. Keep well.